Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have your doubts, not what I'm about, have your fucking clout. It be raining now, I keep making sound, go another round, bitch I'm legend bound, can't stop me now. You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can.
Welcome to Friday Night Lights. My name is Mike. I will be your host. And with me is my partner in crime, the man from the 313, Tommy. How you doing, buddy?
What's up, Mikey? How you doing, brother?
I'm excited. Friday Night Lights is back, brother.
It is back, and football is back. And yeah, this is when you know football's back, when Friday Night Lights is premiering again on Friday night.
We got a couple people over in the chat already. We got Daniel Gars. What's going on? Pim, how you doing, buddy? Glad to have you guys back. And we'll kick this thing off with some news around the NFL. We'll start with Deshaun Watson. 11-game suspension and $5 million fine. Tommy, how you feeling about that?
Well, I kind of called. I said I think he was going to get a 12-game. Remember, we were going back and forth with this for a long time now. I said the NFL is pushing for a year. I said I guarantee they settle for around 12 games. Sure enough, they settle for 11. $5 million, by the way, is nothing. Even though it's the largest fine ever, he's guaranteed what, 265? Right. So whoa, wow. So the fine is nothing really. The 11 games, it is what it is. Like, I think the NFL and the NFLPA just had to get this going. It is funny, though, that his first game back is against the Texans. That is NFL, very NFL-ish to set that up. Just so happens to be in Houston. But I felt like he still should have got a year, but it is what it is. I think, I think the NFL is kind of caught up in the whole legal part that, no legal charges were ever, brought to Deshaun Watson. So, and I guess, did you hear the conference, by the way? Did you hear the press conference on Deshaun and the owners?
Yeah.
That was that. I got to say, kudos to those reporters because they didn't hold back. And I absolutely love it.
To the owners as well. They answered it honestly. It wasn't a great answer, but they were honest.
They did. Deshaun's answers were, but I understand. His lawyer told, and his owners, I'm sure, and the GM all told him, say this. This is what you need to say. Say this over and over, over and over, over and over. So, yeah, he is definitely not remorseful. Okay. He's just taking this because he wants to get it over with. But it is funny that he's in counseling, and it is funny that Cleveland is not allowing him to use massage therapists, only the ones they approve. So in a way, they're kind of saying, something happened, but I don't know. What did you take away from it?
First off, I think the NFL chickened out. They shouldn't have settled. They should have went the year. They didn't want it to drag out into the courts, honestly, and him be able to play to start the year. And the 11 games is because it puts them in one game after a primetime game against Tom Brady, which they're like, there's no way we're putting you on primetime with everything going on. I think it's crap. I think he got off.
Yeah.
Granted, there was no legal. So I think part of it is our justice system is crap. Women lost, in this whole thing. The NFL takes a black eye, but they're hoping now that it's done and over with. They're hoping the season kicks off and everyone just forgets about it.
Right. Yep. I tell you what, though, I did see highlights of him in his first preseason. Yikes! Did you? I mean, he looked bad. Like, I'm not saying that's going to continue, but whoa, like that was not impressive at all. But I knew that. I said that. I said even if he had 6-game suspension, who's to say he's going to be what he was? And he's missed a whole season and some games. Now he's going to miss a whole season before and 11 games. It's not going to come out on fire. Mind you, too, they haven't really said yet about the practice because, sometimes you got to stay away from facilities. Sometimes you don't. So I wonder how they're going to do that.
I did hear, I was listening to Colin Cowherd. Colin Cowherd talked about it, and I think Rich Eisen both talked about it. Basically what happens is he can play in the preseason. Once week 1 starts, he can't come back to the facility, I think, until week 8.
Right.
After week 8,
that's a long
he can
time,
come back, and then he has a couple weeks to ramp up before he can play or something like that.
Yeah, that's a long time, Mikey. To like get on the same page as your OC, because you got to remember, by week 11, there's a lot that changed probably, right? Players went down, maybe offensive line, maybe something's working, not working. They switched things up on offense, right? I think the Browns not going to have a good season. They're rolling with Brissett, which I'm shocked. I got to be honest. I figured they would go after maybe Jimmy G, but I think they're –
which they don't want to. They may still, because Jimmy G's going to have to get released, because if he's on the Niners roster going into week 1, it guarantees all $24 million of his salary. They're going to have to cut him. I did like Chewy's comment though. He talks about does the drama have a happy ending for Deshaun? Yes, he got it going and coming and going.
Yeah, I will say though, Seattle is interesting for Jimmy G. Because watching that game last night when I was working, Geno Smith is exactly what he's been, right? That you get what you get with Geno. And then Drew Lock is just, I don't see him.
I mean, I wasn't impressed with Drew Lock when he was in Denver and had a good running game and good receivers, let alone the weapons he has there.
Right. So why not you got a DK Metcalf there. I'm not saying Jimmy G is like this
Tyler
ultimate
Lockett
quarterback. Right. So you got a decent squad. You're just missing a pretty important piece, which is the quarterback position. So I could definitely see Seattle maybe doing something to get him to at least make their season better for their fans and potentially maybe get into the playoffs. Maybe if you got a decent quarterback, because you got the receiving talent, right? You got a decent running game. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
I love Pim's comment here. Drew Lock won the job by missing the game because then he had COVID. It couldn't start. Geno looked bad. He made the Bears look good.
It was so bad. That game was so. I was watching like periodically when I was at work. I was like, oh my god, he tripped over his own line, man. It's really bad.
Triggs comes in and says Drew Lock's a poor man, Jay Cutler. Ouch! You're a poor man, Jay Cutler. Ow. But okay, we'll move on to some sad news. Dawson Knox's younger brother, Luke Knox, passed away when I think he was at FIU.
FIU.
Transferred to FIU. So obviously we probably won't see Knox, this week. But prayers go out to the Knox family. McDermott talked a little bit about it during his press conference. They said they'll be there for Knox, which I would expect. Buffalo is a family type culture, so that's not surprising.
Yeah, 22 years old, man. It's just like,
he's just starting.
Yeah, dude. You never, life is weird, man. Like you just never know when your time's gonna end. So, yeah, man. My heart goes out to the Knox family. Man, that's a great family too, by the way. They did that little piece on him with his brothers and his family. So yeah, man, I feel for him. And hopefully he gets through this. It's going to take some time. It definitely will. And hopefully, he has a good support system though, I think.
Yeah.
With Bill's Mafia and obviously the whole, locker room, we're like a family in there. So like, You know, that's good that he has a support system. And he'll get through this, but it'll be rough. It'll be rough for a little bit.
Did you see that Bill's Mafia started donating to Knox's charity
I
at
did.
1688 because
Yep.
Luke was 16, and I thought that that's just the way Bill's Mafia rolls. Anytime there's tragedy, they go out and they show their love through charity, and it's wonderful.
Yep.
Okay, and then to other news, DeJuan James signed a huge contract extension with the Chargers. How do you think that impacts the Poyer negotiations?
I think it's something that it makes it more
right?
it makes it more difficult. That's my first reply. It definitely makes it more difficult, but this is normal. This is the trend for I think almost every position, right? Like eventually somebody gets broke off, and then the next man's going, hey, like, So yeah, he's.
Let me ask you this question then.
Yeah.
Does James, knowing he's only 26, going into the prime of his career, does his extension really reflect where Poyer's at? Do you think Poyer can really ask for that same contract?
No. I mean, he has to be a little realistic with the age thing, right? I know it sucks, right? Like, because sometimes guys still play at a high level at a certain age, but when it comes to that, it does factor in. You got to factor it in, right? So I think Poyer, he's not an idiot. He understands that. And his agent has been around, right? He understands that. So it's not going to be like, I don't think it'll be close to there, but I think it's going to be a decent contract. And I think I really believe they're going to get it done, Mikey. I do. I just don't know if it's, does Poyer, the question is, does Poyer really want to stay in Buffalo and end his career in Buffalo? Right? That's the thing that is going to really, what it boils down to. Like, is Poyer going to go, you know what? I'll take a little less just to be here and end it. Like really end my career here, buy a house, whatever he has to do. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Or screw it. I want the money and I'm going to go somewhere else and I'm going to move my family and do all that. Like, I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, that has to go through his mind, right? Like, it's going to he's going to have to factor all that in. And I think he will take a decent deal that works out for both, right? Works out for him, works out for Buffalo. And I think he winds up staying because I think he really likes playing here. I think he really likes the guys around him. I think he likes the coaching staff. I think he likes being, and I think they get the deal done, man. I mean, that's
so. What do you think it comes in at? Do you think annual per year?
That's rough, man. I have to. So what did James get? What did
almost
he come
19
at? A season?
Yeah. So I think
he
came in like 18 and some change.
He's
season,
not getting that. So I said before, I think it'll be like a 3 to 4 year deal, like a 4-year deal with a 3-year, where they can get out of it. Mm-hmm. I think it'll be around the 12, 13 range. That's where I'm comfortable with. And I think that's good. I do. And I think there'll be some incentives. Like, I don't think it's just going to be as simple as just 13 or 12 or 12 and a half. There'll be something like if he gets to the Pro Bowl or All Pro, he gets some extra money. I think the signing bonus will be pretty decent. The guarantee will probably be pretty decent. You get what I mean? Because the guarantee is really what it's about. So I think they'll mix it in with some incentives, the guarantee, maybe a good signing bonus, whatever. And I think they get the deal done. But I'm thinking around 12 to 13. What are you thinking?
I think he's going to ask for 15. I think they settle around 13, 5, 14. He doesn't want to leave, but he wants to be taken care of. Like, you have to remember, he came over when he came to us. He wasn't a known product. Nope. He became a star
battling injuries
the system.
Too.
Yeah. He became a star inside this system. He's not, he's not going to want to. But we also know Bean puts a number on somebody and he doesn't go above it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? My guess is he's going to be around. I can't see him going more than 14 a year for Poyer, because if he does, we're going to lose other younger guys, which I don't think he'll do.
But I will say this: if we look at the history of the since Bean has been here as GM, the guys he's taking care of with the extensions, and the guys he hasn't, they're different kind of players, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Harrison Phillips, right?
Loved
The
him.
Jordan, right? But was he a Stephon Diggs type level player?
No.
Right?
No. Trey White.
Right?
Deion
Trey
Dawkins,
White,
Josh
right?
Allen.
These are
Those
all
are
guys,
cornerstone guys.
right? I think that he is willing to bend a little more than maybe he would on, like I said, Jordan Phillips, Shaq Lawson, Harrison Phillips, those kind of guys. And I think he'll bend a little for Jordan Poyer, and I think Poyer will also bend a little bit as far as what he wants just to stay in Buffalo. That's what I'm thinking, because
That's what
he
I'm
has to
hoping.
understand. Yeah, he has to understand though too. Like, it is a business. There is
Mhm.
other players that need to get paid. Ed Oliver, Dawson. I mean, the list goes on and on and on, and it's nonstop, guys.
Jermaine
It's like,
Edmonds.
yeah, and then the next season there'll be somebody else contract coming on, and somebody else will want an extension because they're not happy with their current. So
Mm-hmm.
they all got to work together. That,
Gabe Davis
I
is
hate to
coming
say it. Yeah, I hate to say it, but the Patriots, that run they did, Tom Brady, like, he always worked the numbers with them to make it. And I hope that eventually we do the same with our top guys to make this thing good for
Yeah.
many seasons. You know what I mean?
Which
Where
Josh has
everybody's kind of,
Josh has already talked about it. They have the ability to restructure Josh's contract without him even, agreeing to it, because his money doesn't change. He'll just get a check up front, and they'll push money around so they can be cap compliant and go out and sign the guys that they need to sign. Just like Tom used to do, just like Pat Mahomes doing now.
Yep.
It's the Bean and his cap crew are extremely good at what they do. So
you got that answer, by the way, for Chewy? Because I don't know Hyde's
what's the
contract.
comparable to Hyde's contract? I don't have that right now.
Okay, we'll get that for you in a minute. Maybe
yeah.
Mike pull that up later. Mike can pull that up later.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure. I know Hyde is coming up as well. I think, Mikey, and I said this before, if they give Poyer a contract extension, I do believe they're going to take care of Hyde for where they're kind of together for that time. I think they do like another 2-year deal with Hyde, so they both stay, because I think they make each other better. Like, you know what I mean? Like, with no Hyde, I don't know if Poyer's exactly the player, you know what I mean, that we're seeing now. If no Hyde, no Poyer, is Hyde the same guy? Like, he'll be good, but is he going to be the same level type of player? I don't know. I don't think so.
For Hyde?
For both. I think if one
Okay.
leaves, I think they both kind of lose a little bit. You know what I mean? Because
they play so well together.
yeah,
just so you know, Poyer's contract, his cap number this year is 10.7. Hyde's cap number is 5.6 this year.
Yeah.
But I'll look at cash, because that's really the real thing, the cash number. That's just the cap. From a cash standpoint, let's take a look. Because right now, Hyde's is like 5.6 million. Let's see, where are they? Hyde is a 7.7 for cash, and Poyer's is 6.7 for cash.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So they're pretty close.
Yeah,
and this
very
actually,
close.
and I know Poyer is sitting right around 14th in the league in safeties. Yeah, his position. So he wants to get up there, probably, almost double what he's making now. If he doubles what he's making now, he'll sit about 13.4, which is about what we said. Between 13.5 and 14 is about what we expect. So I can see that.
Yeah, I think that I just think they get it done, man. Yeah, Chargers, man. I tell you what, man, this offseason, the AFC just spent a lot of money, and they took a lot of a lot of teams rolling the dice. Yeah, we rolled the dice a little bit, but not really. I mean, like, I thought Bean knows what he's doing at the end of the day. Like, listen, these deals, certain guys are gonna not be here. We know that. I mean, you can't sign everybody, but I don't think he went crazy. You know what I mean? I thought he did a lot of smart, small contracts. Roger Saffold 1 season. You know what I mean? But he's a player that's gonna really help us this season. You know what I mean? Then maybe we get some guys in the draft. Like he's playing it really smart. Or you get another guy for 1 season and you draft a guy, sit him. You know, I think he's playing. That's what what do you think? You think that's what he's kind of doing right now, Mikey? Doing the 1-year thing. Let's draft a guy, and let's see what an offensive lineman. Let's say we draft a left guard next season, and we kind of we sign one more vet for 1 year. Let him sit behind that guy. Like I kind of feel like that's the route they're going with these 1-year deals.
They signed vets, a bunch of vets at 1-year deals either way on the offensive line, and
Yeah.
I think we're going to, because we don't know. Maybe Saffold wants to come back next year after this year. He's only on a 1-year deal this year, so he may want to come back. And then if he does, we'll still draft someone to sit behind him, because on our offensive line we have some young guys. We have Dawkins, who's still relatively young. We have Bates, and we have Brown, who are all young guys. Morris we just re-signed for 3 years, so Morris isn't going anywhere. But at some point we're gonna have to look to replace him, so we're gonna have to bring in a backup center, a young guy. And the other guard spot we have to look. Cody Ford didn't pan out. It happens. He being gonna miss from time to time. So we'll have to go and get a young guy. I'm surprised we didn't do it this year. I really was.
Chewy, I didn't say he's gonna get. I don't think he's listen. He's not going to want similar payday. I just think they're going to do an extension where Hyde's happy too, and it's like a 2-year deal, like a 2-year extension where it's kind of they're on the same, not same level in pay, but same seasons. They're going to be here.
The length, contract length.
Right, the contract length. Thank you, Mikey. But not payday. No. Like Poyer is going to get a little bit more than Hyde. Hyde understands that. I think both stay. I'll be honest with you. I think both are going to wind up staying. By the way,
I think 3 years. I think we're having for 3 more years.
No,
I think we signed. No. Yeah, that's not even funny. That's not even funny. I truly believe that they link for about 3 more years together.
Yeah,
I think Poyer gets a 4-year deal with an option to get out after 3, and I think Hyde after the end of this year will probably sign a 2-year extension, because next year is his last year, with the option to get out at the same time. So I have a feeling those two are going to stick together. Like that secondary group and that secondary as a whole. Now that we have 2 young kids, having Poyer and Hyde back there helps us being allowed to play those 2 young kids.
Right. And by the way, speaking of Bobby Hart, he better not be in the game when Allen is in the game.
Right.
Like, I don't even want to see him sitting. I would just put him way at the end, of the bench. Like, I don't even want him by Josh. He might be fumble over Josh Allen and accidentally hurt him. Like, I don't even want him to stay clear away from Josh Allen, Bobby Hart, please.
So, we're going to move on into the preseason week 2. McDermott came out and said, and it's on the ticker below, Josh Allen and most of the starters are going to play, not all starters. He did say that. So who are you looking at that will start this, or who won't start, I should say? Who won't start this week? Who do you expect to sit?
For starters, you mean? Well, Dawson Knox, I don't think he's going to be there. So that's one for sure. He would have played, though. Just a heads up. Okay. Starters, God, that's a tough one.
Offense and defense. I think Vaughn.
I think, man, that I gotta say it's a tough question, because I think Vaughn's itching to play. I think everybody. I think every starter plays, and I think at least a little bit. Meaning, if Vaughn does suit up play, it'll maybe be like a drive.
One series.
Yeah, one series. That's it. Yeah, okay. I think certain players will have a little bit of playing time, and some will be a little bit longer than the others. Like Josh will probably get. I'm thinking Josh a quarter. I'll be honest with you. I think about a quarter. Even though I'm not, I would prefer 2 series, 3 the most. but they'll probably have, a whole quarter. I think Stephon Diggs, same about with Josh. I think Gabe Davis gets a little bit more time, like players like that. I think Devin Singletary will get a little bit more playing time than Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. I think Ed Oliver might get a little bit more playing time just to see where he's at. Like, Gregory Rousseau, I think will get a lot more playing time than some of these guys because he's a young guy. I think Dane Jackson will get a lot of playing time. And yeah, that's about it.
So
but I think all stars will see something.
I don't. I don't expect to see Poyer and Hyde. Poyer's still hurt. And I don't think we'll see Hyde. No. I think they're going to want to see what Hamlin and Johnson can do with the starters. Obviously, I think Dane starts at one corner. I'll be interested to see who starts alongside him, if it's Elam or if it's Benford.
Ooh,
that will be an interesting topic.
That is.
I don't see us seeing much of Vaughn. I don't see us seeing much of Oliver. Like, I think they'll play like a series or two, and then they're going to rotate some of the other guys in. I think we'll see more, Daquan Jones. We'll see him a couple series. I think we'll see Groot a little bit more this week. I think he'll stay out there with the second team a little bit, along with the rotation of Basham and Epinesa and Shaq Lawson. And then on the O-line, I honestly only think we see, depending on how it goes, if we come out more hot, I think Josh plays no more than 2 series. And then he comes off the field along with Diggs, and then you'll see Shakir and those guys come in with our first team O-line still out there, and we'll bring in our backup centers and to see what they can do with a better O-line in front of them.
Yeah.
So I could see us doing that. I can even see them moving Shakir in a little bit when Josh is out there, just to give them a look on that.
Okay.
Moving guys in and out, playing with different things. But I doubt Diggs plays much, if he plays at all.
Is Austin suited up this game? Do you know if he's back practicing?
I believe he was back practicing. He came back earlier this week. I didn't hear of any setbacks. A couple guys who weren't practicing this week, Tommy Doyle, he was in a walking boot. He hurt his foot.
Yeah.
Spencer Brown came back, and then the next day he was in street clothes. So I don't know what's going on with Spencer Brown. Our Tim Settle was on a bike. So they're not sure what's going on with Tim Settle. I don't know if he'll play. If they're healthy, I imagine they would. But those are just like at the last. When was Shout? Shout was 2 days ago. Was the last update I got, and those were the guys that were out. So, but yeah, Austin was back.
I will say this. So obviously we start football against the Rams. We're their first game on a Thursday, meaning football starts early for us. Yeah, we need to be careful, Mikey. The team needs to be careful. We need to have most of our starters playing week 1. Like, we need to have a healthy team, right? Yeah. I don't want to see a stupid injury, like you said, like offensive line, like Mitch Morse going down, right? Now we're playing musical chairs again at offensive line, right? Like, I don't want, like, I swear to God, Mikey, like, I don't remember a season now that we've come in week 1 with a healthy O-line, like the originals, right? Like, somebody's been out or mixed up or shifted around.
17.
Yeah, that like
every year since 17, we've got a starter missing.
And it hasn't started good this offseason, right? Saffold with the car accident, right? Now you got
Bates was out for a little while.
Right. So it's just like, oh man, like I just want these guys just do what you got to do. If you don't need to play, rest these dudes. I mean, like,
put them in bubble wrap.
Yeah, man, because we need them, man. You saw what happened the first half of that season. We're probably 70% of that season, right? It was a disaster. Go ahead.
Chewy comes in with a super chat. Appreciate you, Chewy. So what is the best competition on D and offense this game? I really think it's going to be the Broncos run game versus our run defense. I'm real because Broncos have a fantastic run game. With that two-headed monster back there with Williams and what is his name? He was the guy from they used to play for the Chargers. Gordon,
Melvin
Melvin,
Gordon.
yeah. So that's what I'm really looking at. I think that's the best competition is our run D versus because we saw what we did to the chart or to the Colts starting O line. I want to see more of that to the Broncos O line.
Better, yeah. I'll piggyback off that. Yeah, I'm good with that. That is interesting. By the way, did you know that Mark Rippon's nephew is backup quarterback over there?
Oh, really? No, I didn't know
that. I kind of wish we had like Jim Kelly's nephew. Remember that guy who got in all the trouble and walked into people's houses unannounced
Chad.
at 1 a.m.
Yeah, Chad.
I kind of wish we just sign him 1 week. We just have like our old school Super Bowl nephews playing against each other. Well, that won't happen.
So into the position battles. We'll start with cornerback 2. After the first preseason game, Leslie came out and said that Dane was leading the pack to start opposite of Trey. But if Trey isn't ready week 1, do you think it's Poyer or do you think it's Christian Benford? Because Benford's played really well.
God, I am shocked how good he's been, man. Like honestly, like I told you on Monday, I understand when people are hyped up because they hear a lot of noise in camp, but a lot of the time, Mikey, it winds up being nothing, right? Like, can we agree with that? Like, oh, this guy's playing, this guy's catching everything, and then we get him on the field. It's like, okay, and he winds up getting cut, right? Because he's not catching everything when it counts, or he's not running routes right, or whatever. So I hear this, so I don't get fooled with that anymore. But what I saw week 1 preseason by Benford was everything they've been talking about. And that is surprising because it doesn't always work that way. So, yeah, but I got to say, too, Kaiir Elam, for all the bad talk I've been hearing about camp, I thought he played very well on his first week as well. So, like, it was almost the opposite, right? So, Kaiir Elam, oh, he's doing terrible. This guy's getting, everyone's beating him and he's getting bullied around. And I'm like, damn, I don't know. He looked pretty damn solid to me week 1, right? Like he made a few mistakes, but overall, I thought he played pretty well.
He did.
So I got to say, Mikey, this is great. Honestly, it's nothing bad. This is really, really good to know that we got 2 really good rookie corners, right? I mean, yeah, I go ahead, guys. Battle it away, man. I'm totally good with that. Yeah, totally good with that.
So, think about this, because remember we were talking about this early in camp. We're like, why haven't they signed a Joe Hayden? Why haven't they signed a veteran corner?
The
reason why they haven't is because they have these 2 young rookies who look good, and really, like, Kaiir came in with super high expectations. So he gets talked about like, oh, he got beat by. You have to remember, he's going against every rep he goes and he plays is against either Diggs or Davis. He doesn't get reps against other guys.
That's right.
It's
going against
2
the best.
extremely good wide receivers. Diggs is one of the best route runners in the game.
Right.
So he's learning, and you guys also have to remember he comes in as a press man corner in college. He didn't play a lot of zone, so he's learning that on the fly. So there is some some delay in that type of. We can't come and expect him to be a shutdown corner from day one. He's got to learn how to do some of these things. Benford started against the 3rd team, played really well. Went against the 2nd team, played really well. Went against the 1st team and held his own. Then went out and played against the 1st team Colts and held his own. So it was nice to see. So everyone talks about Benford. Oh, look at this great guy. Elam played just as good against the Colts. He struggled against Diggs and Davis a little bit. But against another first-team defense, he did great. So I'm
Yeah.
really interested to see how those two play.
Right.
this
Against
week.
not only did he play great, but he played against a potential maybe Hall of Fame quarterback and Matt Ryan.
Yeah, and a
Like,
former MVP.
right. Who, it's not like Matt Ryan is like, this isn't, Tua Tagovailoa. I can't even pronounce his name. This is a quarterback that knows how to throw the ball, where to throw the ball. I gotta say, man, speaking of him real quick, I know it's off subject, but I was talking to Curtis about Matt Ryan. I'm like, oh, Matt Ryan, he's, I can't believe the Colts got him or whatever. Old, he can't move. Man, Matt, if you look at Matt Ryan's stats, Mikey, he's still putting up very good numbers. Like, they're very good. Like, and I'm like, oh my God, like 4,000 yard. Like, he's a good, for his age, I got to give Matt Ryan a lot of credit. And those, he was on a bad team. The Falcons were going nowhere. I'll tell you what, it'll be interesting with the Colts, with him now on the Colts. But sorry, I got off topic. But the reason why I did is because I'm saying Kaiir Elam and Benford really played well against, like I said, a future maybe Hall of Fame quarterback and Matt Ryan and a first team offense.
Yeah, and then they brought in Nick Foles, who's a Super Bowl MVP.
Right, he knows he's been around the block. Right,
right. With part of the first team O line still out there, and they played really well against Nick Foles as well. So I mean, I was really impressed with the two young guys. But before we move into another position, we have a few questions in the chat.
Yeah, go ahead.
Tech reviewer comes in and says, if Case plays bad this week, do we trade or sign another backup, maybe Tyrod or Jimmy G? Tyrod's with the Giants. He's their QB2 right now. I don't think Daboll's going to let him out the door, so Tyrod's out the window. Jimmy G, I don't see it. The 49ers have until week 1 before his contract becomes guaranteed. But then he's going to be wanting to go somewhere like Seattle or somewhere where he has a chance to actually start. So I don't see either one of them. We have to give Case, yes, he had some bad throws. He had some high throws, some bad decisions. He was also playing with a really bad O-line in front of him. So, I don't know. What's your take on Case if he had another bad week?
Concerned. I'll be a little concerned. I told you this on Monday. Listen, when we signed Matt Barkley, I was very concerned. I told you that. Everybody knows
you were not happy about that.
I was not happy. I was super concerned. And then we got Keenum, and I said, all right, there you go. Like, that makes sense. I get it. Now, okay, cool. But what I saw last week and what I saw Barkley do, now, mind you, week 1 preseason, right? A lot of rust there, getting familiar with the players.
First team versus.
Well, no, not only that, too. I also got to thinking, Mikey, Matt Barkley's been here. He knows the team. He knows the offense, right? We didn't really even consider that. We didn't even talk about that. I got to think about the other day. I'm saying, you know what? Matt Barkley's he knows the players. He knows the system very well. So let's back off a little bit. But I will say, if Case Keenum does have another bad game, yeah, I'll admit I'll have a little concern there because I don't think Barkley still is a good backup. I don't. And I would say to that, week 3, I'd play Keenum for the first half and Barkley in the second. And if Keenum stinks it up again, yeah, they're going to have to figure something out because I would not feel comfortable with Keenum as a backup or Barkley, even if Barkley did okay, because I know what Barkley's about. Barkley, I'm not saying Barkley's bad, but you see it, Mikey. He does a lot of floaters because he doesn't have the greatest arm. And sometimes they're great, man. Sometimes they're like dimes. They're just like dropping in the basket, but you can't do it all the time. And that's why his completion percentage is terrible, right? And that's why his turnovers are awful. So there's no way he could, fill in for Josh and get us to the playoffs. I couldn't see it happening. And the way Keenum played the first week, forget about it. So let's see what happens, right? It was the first game, not a big deal. And we'll go from there. But I'm not worrying yet.
Yeah, Pim comes in and says Tyrod may be QB1 if DJ continues to suck. Yeah. Tyrod's there for a reason, I guarantee you.
Jones. I don't think Jones makes it there. I'll be honest with you. I think Jones, and especially if Dable thinks he's going to run Jones around like he did Allen. Tyrod, maybe. I think Tyrod would fit more into a Dable system than Daniel Jones. And I'm not saying Daniel Jones is slow. I just think Tyrod's more experienced with that kind of play. And I think Dable, with his creativity, might see a little bit more better with Tyrod in his system.
He's more athletic. He's more Josh than Daniel Jones is.
Yeah, and maybe he'll actually let Tyrod be Tyrod, because I felt like Tyrod, his first season with us, he just said, you know what, I'm just gonna be me. I'm gonna throw like he wasn't really playing scare ball. He was throwing it deep. He was running, and then I kind of felt like his next season he started getting timid. That's when
they brought in a new OC. Remember, they brought in that new OC, and everything changed.
We got fired. Yeah.
Because it was Roman, right? Wasn't it Roman?
Yes, Roman. Yeah, he
and then
got fired like midway. Right away. Yeah. So who knows? I could definitely see it happening though. I'll be honest with you. I just don't think they want to give up quite yet on Jones because he's a rookie. Yeah. What was he, first round?
He's still on his rookie contract. They didn't pick up his 5th-year option, so this is his last year there either way.
Okay.
So yeah, he was 5th overall, I think.
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he's 5th overall. Daniel Garson says Barkley's a pretty good QB2, but he's a great QB3. I think Barkley's perfect as a QB3. He understands the offense. He's able, in these types of preseason games, he's able to show off what our receivers can do. Isaiah Hodgins, having Barkley throwing him the ball against second and third team, fourth team guys is a bonus. I don't want to see Barkley as QB2 because I think he's limited on what he can do. Everything has to be on anticipation because he doesn't have the strong arm. I'm hoping we see more out of Keenum again because Keenum has a track record of being good, be able to get you through 3, 4, 5 games. Ultimately, if Josh went down for a long term, like for the season, we're not going to be, we're not going anywhere anyways, even with Keenum back there. So at the end of the day, it is what it is.
Especially, especially in November, like December weather in Buffalo. You really think Matt Barkley is going to be able to throw? Like, God forbid if he had to go in there and Buffalo win. Like, it's not like he already has like kind of a weak arm. Like, that is not happening. So no, I wouldn't. I feel comfortable with Barkley as a backup too. He's cool. Okay. I'll have him in a room, but go ahead.
Yeah. So we'll move on. Position battle DN5. Do you think Shaq's locked into DN5, or do you think Mike Love truly has a shot to push him off the roster?
Man, that is a tough question. We'll see. I think it comes down to these last 2 games. I'll be honest. Okay. I told you from the beginning that I thought maybe Shaq Lawson would be that bubble guy, right? And then I kind of got off that because I kind of was siding with you a little bit because I know you were saying no, like, but I just think Mike Love played with a lot of energy. I love
from
that
he got to the pass rush standpoint. Yeah,
it was. Yeah, I get that too. And that's but I also think Lawson didn't really provide anything week 1, but he didn't have a lot of snap counts either. So I think it does boil down to these last 2 games because, man, you have to make cuts, Mikey. And it is the best guy playing, right? Like, you can't just say, yeah, he was here, he knows the system. Even though he's not playing as good as Mike, we're going to keep him. Like, I don't know if they look at it like that. You know what I mean? So we'll see. I don't know. I think that comes down to this preseason. We said it from the beginning. This is the most important preseason, I think, that I recall the Buffalo Bills having, because there's so many good players on this team or players that can good rotational players. But we can't keep them all. So there's going to be somebody has to go, right?
Pim comes in and says Mike Love can play the run too. If he can, he didn't show it. Mike Love had the absolute worst run defense of anybody in last week's game. It was like it barely registered. I think it was like a 4.7 or something like that. It was horrible. But I mean, I truly believe Shaq's pretty much locked in as DN5. I think I've told you this,
Yeah.
and I think it becomes because he's a really good run defender, sets the edge. He also brings a nasty attitude with him,
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
that some of the other guys don't. He brings a different thing, and he's one of those locker room guys that McDermott loves. Like him and Jordan Phillips together just bring that edge that
Yeah.
everyone's looking for.
No doubt. And I still think I don't know if these players play different when this, regular season. You know what I mean? Like when it really counts. I just think Shaq is better than what I saw him on week one. You know what I mean?
It was 14 snaps.
And
so
and he's still very young. Like he's still a young player. You know what I mean? Like and
27.
he was listen, he was the real deal in Clemson. Like Rex Ryan drafted him for a reason. Like if it wasn't for that injury,
he was good with
I'm telling you. Yeah, dude. So
there's a reason why Miami gave him a 10 million a year contract.
100%. Like I'm leaning towards him over Love as far as who they'll sign or not sign, who they'll stay. Yeah, but we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah.
I did love Mike Love's energy the week one. I really did.
Okay. Moving into the next group, running back 3. Who do you think that running back 3 is going to be? Do you think it's Singletary, Cook, and Moss? Yeah. Or do you think there's a way Blackshear fights his way onto this roster?
Well, you're not even saying Duke Johnson's name, so apparently you think he's totally gone.
I don't think Duke Johnson had 1.7 yards.
No, I get it, but you totally.
What I saw from Duke last week, I was not impressed. Great as a returner.
Yeah.
In the backfield, he did not look good at all. And Blackshear ran with that same O-line, and he did look good.
But Blackshear did get hurt there too. Is he okay now?
And then he came back in the game and rushed for another touchdown.
That is tough, Mike. For sure, Devin Singletary's your RB1. Like I'm telling you guys, don't start getting twisted. He is he's still the best running back on the team right now. Okay. And I really think, Mikey, he's gonna have 1,000 yards. I'm telling you, rushing. I think from what I saw from Moss week one, I think Moss is starting to get back into a groove, a healthy groove, right? Where mentally and physically. I think Moss is that too. I do. And I think Cook is used more as a wide receiver and more as a screen down back. I think Moss gets more carries this season than Cook, in my opinion. I just from what I saw week one, he looked great on the cut, which that wasn't there last season.
Yeah.
When the play broke down and the offensive line was terrible once again. But he got positive yards every time. And he also looked stronger. I saw him run over a couple people. He wasn't doing that last season either.
He broke out of tackles.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a good sign. It really is. And that's something I don't think Cook is quite there yet. And I was telling you that on Monday. I'm not saying he can't get there. He's just a different build than a Singletary and Moss. He's not there quite yet. And I think we need that power back in Moss. And I think that's why Moss will be that too. And I think Cook will be more of that feature, like that special gadget. Yeah.
Army,
put him out to the 5th receiver spot, get him out to a screen pass, or get him out there with Singletary and Cook at the same time. Like I could see all that going on under Ken Dory's system. But I think ultimately Moss will be the RB2.
Okay. I hear you. Chewy comes in and says that Blackshear can play special teams. I think T. Jones is gone. Money for Poyer. I don't. I cannot see, and I think I heard Greg Thompson say this the other night on his show. He's like, Sean McDermott would not have a guy sit the bench and not give him a chance, a veteran guy, and not at least give him a chance to win a roster spot and then cut him.
Yeah, he loves Taiwan Jones.
I think Taiwan Jones is a lock on this team as a gunner. They love the gunners with Neal and Jones.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think Blackshear, they're hoping they can get him on the practice squad, and he could be the Jones replacement for next year.
Yeah, Jones ain't going anywhere this season.
Yeah.
McDermott, they love their special team guys, like especially the good ones. Like he ain't getting rid of Taiwan Jones, I promise you. Kumro's interesting. That's an interesting one.
You're jumping the gun.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Gun.
I was just saying because we were on special teams.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's a great lead-in to our next one, which is wide receiver 6.
No,
we kind of have an idea who the 4 are, the top 4, right? We know Diggs, we know Davis, we know McKenzie, we know Shakir because I mean he's a draft pick and he played fantastic.
You're right.
So now we're looking at 5 and 6, right? Everyone assumes it's going to be Crowder as 5, and then who's going to be 6. Right. I don't think Crowder helped his chances at all. Last week, having the ball bounce off his hands on a high pass for an interception.
Yeah.
Granted, he only had a few reps. Kumaro hurt his chances as a receiver, as he fumbled, and then Isaiah Hodgins came out and balled out, and it helped his chances.
100%.
I'm interested to see what Tavon Austin looks like in the offense.
Yep.
But I really think it comes down to those wide receiver 6. I think it comes down, or 5 and 6, so 2 spots. It's going to come down to Kumaro, Austin, Crowder, and Hodgins, and 2 of them are gonna make the roster, and 2 of them are going to be hit the unemployment line. What are you seeing, or where are you leaning as of today?
It's so tough, man. I'm going to be honest with you. I can't totally answer that right now because we only gone. I can't because it's kind of unfair to Austin who didn't even play yet, right? Because Austin, because I'm just saying
the best ability.
No, I get that, but he only missed week 1. So let's say he's available now, right? Let's say hypothetically, I have no clue yet, but let's say he's available and he looks very sharp on punt returns. Let's just say, and he looks pretty decent, and let's say they give him some gadget plays in week 2 in this game, right? Mm-hmm. And we're like, oh, okay, whoa, this guy has some speed, or then we're talking now next week about Tavon Austin, right? So like, I think this is a great conversation to have going into week 3 with the receivers because I think some of these guys, like in Austin, didn't give an opportunity yet. And Hodgins, yes, he had that good game. But as we all know with Hodgins, he hasn't been healthy, right? It's his first year. So can Hodgins stay healthy again week 2? Can he make it out of that game? No problems. Can he do it again, right? Can he look sharp again? So, because listen, what if he doesn't have a good game again? Now we're going to be talking now week 2, like, oh, shoot, Hodgins got a little banged up, didn't play well. So I think we got to wait till at least week 2 is over. And then we can start talking about that because
we can pin that one.
Yeah, because the receiver department is loaded. I got to be honest with you. There's a lot of good talent. Because I don't think we thought – I mean, I thought Shakir was going to be the steal of the draft for the Bills, but I didn't know he was going to be that good week 1 where, he was on point. You know what I mean? Like, he looked damn good, Mikey, like really good. And I don't think many people thought Hodgins would have that kind of game going into week 1 either. So there's been a couple surprises for some of these guys that I don't think we thought were going to totally ball out like that. And they did. They played very well. Yeah, OBJ, I know.
Leave it to Pim. You knew someone was going to say it. Okay, we'll pin the wide receiver one.
Yeah, we will.
To next week.
Monday show.
Going back to the corner real quick. Cam Lewis, do you think there's a possibility we carry an extra corner so we don't have to expose Cam Lewis? Because if Cam Lewis gets exposed, I have a feeling the Giants are going to snag him.
Why not trade him?
We could do that.
Just saying, why not trade? Listen, Brandon Beane loves trading guys, right? Like guys that he thinks he's going to cut anyways. Cam Lewis has played very well, but we just pretty deep right now in the guys that are stepping up, right?
Yeah.
So why not get something for him? I'd rather get something than just to cut him. At least try. And I think Brandon Beane won. I think Brandon Beane, to be honest with you, I think he tries to get something for everybody.
Right? I agree.
At this point,
like, oh, you'll take Boating? Okay, what are you going to give me for him?
Right. 6th round pick, sure. 5th round,
take Mills? Okay, woohoo!
You need this guy?
I do. I see.
You need Matt Hawk? What? Okay.
Right? Yeah, I bet you he tries to trade Matt Hawk. I bet you he does.
Send his ass back to Miami.
Okay, so we'll pin wide receiver for after next week. We'll see how the game goes tomorrow, and then when we come back, we'll talk about what we're seeing going into the final week of who needs to step up to secure a spot and who you think's on the inside, who you think's on the outside. But we'll go into the keys of the game. Now, these are my keys to the game, Tommy. Tell me if you agree with them or you disagree or if I've missed something. My 3 keys to the game this week. O-line sets the tone. I want to see our first team O-line out there set the tone, be able to run the ball, be able to give Josh time to throw. Second key, run defense. I want to see us continue what we did last week to the Colts. And now that we're going to have some more of the starters out there, I want to see us dominate the run game of the Broncos. And then my third is pressure. We saw some pressure last week, but there wasn't much getting home. There's only a couple that got home. I want to see us convert the pressures into sacks.
Right.
And now that we're going to have Groot out there, and Vaughn could possibly be out there, and we're going to have some of our starting D tackles. It's not going to be our second team. I want to see us convert.
Right.
And yes, Pem, and Chewy, I agree. That should be my fourth thing. No more turnovers, no injuries.
Right.
I got enough of the turnovers last week.
Yeah, 100%.
Am I missing any of the true keys to the game?
I'm still curious about the punt return. I want to see better. I want to see something. It wasn't that. I was happy that they were safe catches.
Mm-hmm.
That we didn't make any mistakes as far as that goes, but there wasn't anything that.
There was no explosion.
Nothing. Yeah. Like, listen, and I'll be honest with you. I don't know the way Khalil Shakir looks so far. I'm not sure. Punt. I don't know if I want him returning punts. I'll be honest with you. That's a tough position because, man, players are down there quick. There's injuries can happen. That's why I don't like Hyde returning. That's why I don't mind the Duke, but Duke didn't do anything either on punt return. So it's like, that's why I'm very curious about if Austin plays this game, because we are missing that still, right? And is Isaiah McKenzie, will he return some punts this game? I'm curious. Will they give him another opportunity?
I don't think so. I think Isaiah's time as a punt returner is over. He's wide receiver 3 in this offense, and I'm with Pim on this.
Depending,
safe catches are key to me.
They are good, but depending on where you're at, though, not all the time. Because listen, not every catch is going to be a safe. So let's say it's a line drive. Let's say it's a line drive kick. It's not going to be it's not going to be just a fair catch. We want to see some kind of return for positive yards, right? So I'm not saying we need a Deion Sanders. I just want something decent. Like, I want a decent punt returner, and we've always kind of found one. I'll be honest with you. The Leotis McKelvins, right? McGee, like, we've always had a decent kicker punt returner for a while, right?
Roberts.
I think Andre Roberts, right? 100%, Mikey. So we've always had decent. I think these last 2 seasons is where we're, and I think it does kind of bother McDermott that he doesn't have that guy back there yet that he can truly count on, because I don't know if McDermott always wants to go, oh man, now Khalil Shakir can't catch the ball back there. Now we got to throw Hyde back there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if wants to keep playing this, musical chairs with the special team, right? He wants one guy he could trust in, and that's that. So
I don't see us keeping a roster spot just for a returner, though. I really don't. I think if Shakir continues to catch the ball,
and Roberts, was
I understand that, but Roberts was also on a different type of team. Like, we weren't looking at having to release a lot of really good guys then. There was the ability to keep him as being that returner. I think he's trying to find someone who can do that plus add something to the offense. Then it could be Austin. Austin could be wide receiver 6.
Yeah.
And
So let's say
Austin.
So let's say Austin does good. Like let's say he does. He's like, okay, we like him. He didn't make any mistakes. He got good yards. To me, that's where you cut Kumaro, because then we don't. Austin's a special team guy. We don't need Kumaro now. We got Taiwan Jones. You got Saran Neal back there. You're like on special team. So yeah, that's why I said I think this next game is really going to tell a lot.
And it's really important that Austin plays in the game to show what he can do. Because if he doesn't play this game, I don't see him making this team.
Nope. I agree. I 100% agree with that.
I'm with Daniel on this. I think Daniel Garies is correct. He says I think McDermott's concerned with McKenzie's return man is his ability to field the ball without dropping it. Yes, and that's the one thing that Shakir does. He catches the ball cleanly. A lot like Poyer. Like he reminds me so much of Poyer fielding the punts. It's crazy.
Or Hyde.
Poyer's Hyde. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
The way Hyde fields the punts, like it's clean. He'll make the smart call.
Right.
I think Hyde's a better returner in general right now.
Yeah.
But Shakir could get better. We'll see. We'll see after this week. We'll pen that one as well.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I'm very curious.
Okay, we're going to move into the last segment of the show as we just hit the hour mark. What we want to see out of week 2. Here's my 3 things. I want to see the first team O get in a rhythm. I want us to drive down, put points on the board. I want to see Josh get into a rhythm. The first team D line, get to the quarterback and take him down. I don't want pressure. Get to the quarterback and take him down. And then I'm really interested to see the rookie corners. Who comes out opposite of Dane Jackson this week? And who comes out next week? Do they flip them? And how do they perform? I'm interested to see if Dane can hold on to that CB1 while Trey's out. Do the 2 rookies take his spot? Like, yes, he's looked good in practice, but now he gets to go into a game. And with the other 2 out there, I'm interested to see how Dane holds up. So that corner battle is big to me. Obviously, we have the punt situation. I want to see the punt god. I want to see him as more of the short punt, the angle punt. We talked about this Monday. I want to see that short angle punt because we know he has the big leg to flip the field. I want to see that short. Can he drop it with inside the 20s with some hang time on it?
You want to make a bet on something?
Sure. I'm always down to bet. You know that.
All right. Week 3. How much you want to make a bet they have him as kick a field goal and some part of that game, maybe the 4th quarter, if there's a chance given, just to see, because he was a kicker, right? And it's always good to know
he was a decent kicker too.
Yes, so it's always good to know. You never know what can happen, right? I think they have him go out there for a field goal,
or an extra point.
Yes, or an extra point, whatever. What do you think?
I don't think so. I don't think
no.
So. No.
Why not?
I mean, I think it'd be awesome. I think it'd be super cool to do it. Give Bass the game off.
Yeah, Doug Flutie did a drop kick in a game. I'm just saying. Did you know, real quick, by the way, I didn't know this, and he was like one of my favorite players growing up. Randall Cunningham could punt the hell out of a football. Did you know that?
No.
Dude, so real quick, so I was looking up like punters, like longest punts ever, right? Like I was curious after that 82-yard bomb, right? And Randall Cunningham, 62-yard punt. He punted like 6 times with the Eagles.
I never knew that.
Multiple 50-yard kicks, 60 yards. I'm like, what the hell? So, man, what an athlete, man. I got to give credit. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's a great tidbit.
I was like, yo.
So Triggs comes in and says he thinks Dorsey's going to be on the sidelines with Allen. I hope not. I want Dorsey up in the box.
Get up there. I do not want.
They say he's a wild man. Anyways, we don't need him on the sidelines. Get him up in the box.
I've always preferred the box, to be honest with you. I even thought
better.
I even think Frazier should be up in the. I'll be honest with you. I like the box, man. I think you're up there. You're away from distractions. I think. You got your other assistants with you. You know what I mean? Like, I just think that you could, like you said, you could see the field more. You can relay the message more. When you're down there's a lot of guys flying by, you're distracted by things, you're blocked by things. Ken Dorsey needs to stay up top, man, especially Mikey. He is a rookie offensive coordinator, no matter how we see it. And I think he's going to do great. But I think being his first year, he needs to be up there with guys that have been around the game a while, like the Shulos and stuff, that can kind of talk to him when things aren't going so well. Because I don't know if like Ken Dorsey right away, this offense is going to be like boom, like right out the gate, right? Like
we'll find out tomorrow.
Yeah, we will. But I'm just saying, like, I think it might take a few games, and he even said this in an interview. It might take a couple games for them to really start to find their way, right? Like in his system, because he did change some stuff, right? So we'll see. But I think he needs to be up there. I do.
Yeah. Okay. I'd like to see him up there too. And I know that the reason why Frazier's up there, he's also the assistant head coach. So if something happened, that's why he has to be down on the field.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Well,
yeah. Chewy comes in and says he wants to see more yards after catch, some yak. He wants to see great run stuffing and the punt God hitting a finesse kick. Yep, I'm with you on all three of those.
Yeah, I'm good with that too. Yep.
Yeah, I'm all good with all of those. So, Tommy, is there any last things you got as we look to close this up on a Friday night?
No, man. So 1:00, guys, tomorrow. We are having our draft at 1, so I'm going to be watching the football game and drafting at the same time, Mikey. So, damn, I wish we scheduled it for later, but it's all good. I'm curious tomorrow how much Bills Mafia comes out, because that's a pretty big game. You got Russell, right? Is Russell playing?
Russell
Wilson?
I don't know. I haven't heard anything on the Denver side of who's playing and who's not.
Usually this would be the game for starters to play. Very curious.
If they're at home, they usually play their home game. So, like, the reason why Josh is playing this week is because they're at home. Next week they're on the road. Last year it was game 3 that they played because they were at home.
So you're thinking Russell so maybe they don't play their starters. You're saying?
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
But no, other than that, man. This Saturday, guys. Jason Malloy is having at 8:30 his a baseball podcast on Mafia Sports Report. It's brand new. So if you like baseball, the playoffs are starting soon. Tune in at 8:30 to Mafia Sports Report. Check that out. Support him because he's new at content for baseball. So help him out. And then we will be back on Monday. Me and Mikey, and then we have our Fantasy Kingdom starting when, Mikey?
September 3rd. Saturday, September 3rd.
Right around the corner. And also NFL Overtime is going to be Fridays at 8, starting September 3rd, I believe, Mikey, on the calendar. September 2nd? Okay.
Yeah,
so that starts
Friday,
then.
Right after this, right? We'll follow our Friday Night Lights show.
Yeah. So, got a lot coming up, guys, man. We really do. I'm adding more and more stuff. So, if you guys haven't subscribed already, whoever's watching or rewatching this, subscribe, hit the notification bell. That helps, man. Other than that, that's all I got to say, Mikey.
Yeah, we appreciate everyone riding with us tonight in the comments. You guys were wonderful as normal. We didn't have a whole lot to outline for the show, and then you guys just kept peppering us with questions, which is awesome. And with that, we'll play the best outro in the business.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Peace out, guys.